What's up guys, it's Justin Stenstrom from Elite Man Magazine, and in this video I'm going to share with you everything that you have to know about CBD oil. Because CBD has hit the mainstream like nothing else over the past few years. It's all over the news, it's all over social media, all your friends are talking about it, all your friends are trying it, but most people have no idea what they're putting into their body and they have no idea how it actually works. So in this video I'm going to tell you exactly what it is, exactly how to use it, and exactly how to get the benefits of this mysterious oil that so many people don't really know that much about. So first things first, what exactly is CBD? CBD stands for cannabidiol, and cannabidiol is a non-psychotomimetic constituent of the Cannabis sativa plant, which basically means it doesn't have any psychoactive properties. It's not going to change your state of mind like, say, THC would, or smoking marijuana, or drinking alcohol even. It just basically gives you the medicinal purposes of that plant without the hallucinogenic side to it as well. Along those lines, a very interesting fact about CBD and most CBD products you're going to come across is that it actually contains a small amount of THC. And when I talk about a small amount of THC, I'm talking about usually 0.3%, 0.3% THC. And the funny thing about CBD is if you have legitimate CBD oil, it actually blocks the receptors that make the psychoactive properties of THC available in the brain. So not only does CBD not make you psychoactive, not change your behavior or your state of mind, but it actually blocks the effects of THC that are coming in. So if you have, say, a bad trip and you're using THC, people have used CBD to counteract that because it'll then block those receptors that are making somebody high and hallucinate or have any bad trip experiences. Now personally, I haven't tested this theory out because I'm not a big marijuana consumer myself, but apparently it does work, and the research does back up the fact that CBD does use the same receptors in the brain as THC. And just for a quick reference point of that 0.3% THC being a small amount, most people when they consume marijuana are consuming between 15 to 20% THC, whether that's off the street or at a dispensary nowadays. Now before I dive into exactly how to use CBD and exactly the benefits you can derive when you use it properly, I do want to make a quick note that I am clearly not a doctor, and all the information I present in this video to you is for entertainment purposes only. The statements I make in this video have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration, and CBD is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Alright, with that out of the way, let's dive right back into how CBD actually works. So in the body and in the brain, physiologically, CBD does so many great things, and it works on a number of different fronts, but one of its primary beneficial mechanisms of action is the balancing out of the glutamate and the GABA neurotransmitters in your brain. In fact, CBD is one of the best known balancers of glutamate and GABA that they've ever discovered. It goes in there and almost instantly balances out the GABA receptors and the glutamate receptors in your brain. And I know the next question you're going to ask is, why is this important? And the answer why this is so important is because GABA is directly connected to the parasympathetic nervous system, and glutamate is directly connected to the sympathetic nervous system. And going back to Physiology 101, the parasympathetic nervous system is the part of your nervous system where you're relaxing, you're digesting, you're recovering, you're healing, and the sympathetic nervous system is when you are in flight or flight. Everything is crazy, everything is excitatory, you're going off the wall, and you clearly cannot relax and heal up. Now the sympathetic state is great when you need energy, when you need excitement, when you have an important meeting, when you need to get shit done, when you go to the gym, when you go for a run. All these things are important because you need that energy and excitement to perform at your best. But for the majority of the day, you actually want to be in the parasympathetic state because this is where you actually recover, it's where you heal, it's where you grow. And most people who have problems with, say, anxiety or depression or sleep problems or migraines, they spend far too much time in the sympathetic state. And that's why CBD is so effective, because as my friend David Shade says, it can just go into the brain and magically balance out that parasympathetic to sympathetic tone like nothing else can. And that's why so many people, in my opinion, are turning to CBD for things like chronic pain or oxidative stress or diabetes or nausea or insomnia or headaches or migraines or anxiety, depression, other sleep problems, schizophrenia even. There's been so many different things that people are trying CBD out for, and I'm not saying they all work, but but I'm saying a lot of people are swearing by CBD and saying that it helps in some regard. And I'm not saying CBD can cure any one of those things, and personally I actually think CBD can be overrated in a lot of people's minds. A lot of people think it's a magic bullet pill or a magic oil that can just do anything and cure any condition, but personally, I don't think it does a lot of the things that people say it does. I think it can help in a lot of cases. I think it can help with a lot of situations. But some of those things, I don't think it really works for. I'm just telling you what people have reported that they've worked for and what some studies are saying that they can be beneficial for. Now, while we're on that same topic, I do think you have to be careful with how much CBD you take. Those same people who think that CBD is a cure-all for everything, they'll never tell you that there's potentially side effects with CBD if you take too much of it. And some recent studies have come out and shown that if you take too much CBD, it can actually be pretty harmful for your liver. So you just got to be careful with not over consuming it or not jumping on the bandwagon and thinking that CBD is going to cure everything in your life and you can just take it all day long, every single day, because you can't. It can actually be harmful if you take too much of it, and you got to be careful. Now, just how harmful is CBD for the liver? The truth is, nobody really knows. There just haven't been enough studies yet to really examine the effects it has on a human liver. And the people on this aisle will say that CBD is incredibly safe and there's no side effects at all, and the people that actually did the study were stupid and they didn't do the study right and they did it on mice. And the people who did the study will say CBD is terrible and you should stay away from it, it's going to cause liver damage. And I personally think it's somewhere in the middle. I don't really think it's that harmful. I actually probably will tend to agree more with this side of the aisle, but I do think you got to be careful and you should be wary of how much CBD you're actually consuming. Because overall, CBD is a very powerful and a very helpful plant, and realistically, it beats the hell out of most pharmaceutical drugs, both in efficacy and safety. So when it comes to dosage, I mentioned before of taking too much CBD and just kind of being wary of staying away from that higher amount. So I actually recommend something between 25 milligrams and 75 milligrams 1 to 3 times a day. And that higher amount I'm referring to here, when they did those studies before and they actually found that quantifiable liver damage, was between 1,000 milligrams and 2,000 milligrams a day, which is, as you can see, a pretty ridiculous amount to be taken on a day-to-day basis. And when I say that 25 to 75 milligram dosage, I want to make sure you know exactly what to look for on the back of your CBD product, because some supplement companies are very shady and they actually pretend like they have CBD oil in their product when realistically they have no CBD oil and they're actually just more like a hemp product. A lot of hemp companies actually will pretend to be CBD oil products when they have zero CBD in them. So on the back of your product, there is a couple of key things to look for. So right next to that 25 to 75 milligram dosage of CBD oil in your product, on the label, it should say the words phytocannabinoid diols or active diols or phytocannabinoid hemp oil or phytocannabinoids or cannabidiol. All of these specific terms refer to how much active CBD oil is in that product. If none of these terms are on your label, you have zero CBD oil in your product. Now, I know it would be so much easier for it to just say 25 or 75 milligrams of CBD oil on the back of the supplement's facts, but in this country, in the United States right now, you have to get pretty fancy with the nomenclature, and as it turns out, those 5 terms are the 5 terms you want to be looking for to tell you exactly how much CBD oil is in that product. And by the way, that 25 to 75 milligram dosage is for most CBD capsules or tinctures out there. Generally speaking, that's what I'll recommend. If you have a liposomal enhanced CBD, you're going to need a lot less because it has usually like 5 or 6x absorption. Either one, no matter what you go with, they're all pretty good, but the dosage on a liposomal CBD would be something like 5 to 12 milligrams as opposed to 25 to 75 milligrams. But that's all I got for today. Overall, I highly recommend you check out CBD, both for the body and brain. Physiologically, it can do wonders, and medicinally, it can help with a number of conditions. But the only thing I caution is that you be careful of how much CBD you're putting into your body in the long term. You don't want to take too much of it because the long-term effects of taking high-dose CBD has not really been studied, and nobody really knows what it could potentially do. But that's all I got for today. Make sure you leave a like below and also share in the comments section any questions at all you have about CBD usage, the dosage, how it works, how you should take it, what forms you should take. Any questions you have regarding CBD, I'll be happy to answer them in the comments. And as always, make sure you subscribe to our channel on YouTube, hit the notification bell to get notified the instant we release a new video, and make sure you follow me on Instagram at Justin Stenstrom.